Hi, welcome back to Why the Book Wins. My name is Laura. In today's video, I'm going to share some of the books that I ended up getting rid of. Obviously, you can see by the title. And I personally love watching unhaul videos because in my own life, I love when I gather stuff that I don't need anymore and I take it to a thrift store and donate it. It just feels so good. And so I love watching unhaul videos because I almost get that feeling of like, oh, they have less clutter in their life now and it feels so good for them. And as much as I love buying books, there have been times where I ended up regretting the decision or, also my book collection has evolved. I've only been collecting books since October, but in the last 6-7 months, my attitude about the kind of books I want to have on my shelf has changed. I've gotten to a point where I want to have books on my shelf that when I look at them, I just have this sense of pride that I own that edition and I'm proud to own it and happy to have it. And so I have some books that I just look at and I feel nothing. And so I've decided to get rid of them. So I'm going to share some of them. It's a pretty short stack though. Before we moved here in February, I got rid of a few books, like quite a few that when they arrived, they just weren't what I wanted or something. So I had a lot of books I got rid of then, but these are the books that made it through and that I brought with me, but I'm at a point now where I just don't want them anymore. So I'm going to go through these pretty quickly. And again, all of these books, the books themselves, like the stories, I would highly recommend you read them because I do love them. It's just these editions don't do it for me. For starters, this paperback collection of the 3 Anne of Green Gables books. I thought I wanted this because it's like a book set and it's from the 70s and the covers are pretty, as you can see just with that picture right there. But when I would see them on my shelf, I was just like, why do I own those? So getting donated. Next up is this vintage copy, I think, of Sleepy Hollow. This one I got on Thrift Books, which can kind of be hit or miss. But I don't even know what year it's from even. It doesn't even say, and it has illustrations kind of, but I'm not crazy about them. That's just what they look like. And yeah, donating. Next up, this one, I don't know. I go back and forth. Maybe I'll keep it, but it is Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk, but it is not an early edition. Well, it's like the 10th printing of the first edition, but these, they're not valuable. To get a valuable Fight Club edition, it has to be the first edition first printing, and this one is first edition, 10th printing. And so it's not that valuable. I don't know. I'll probably still donate it. Sorry, I'm trying to get rid of the glare. But this one, when I see it, it doesn't get me excited. It doesn't make me feel proud to own it. I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, that one. So maybe I'll end up keeping it. I don't know. Right now, though, it's in the donation pile. And then we have this edition of 12 Years a Slave, which is, just your run-of-the-mill edition, nothing special. This book was published in the 1800s, so obviously this is not an early edition. I love this book so much, and this is one that I would like to buy, one of those earlier editions. They are very expensive, so it's one that I would get down the line. There's also an Easton Press edition, which I would like to have as well. But this one, just your average, nothing special edition, I don't need that. And last but not least is this collection of William Shakespeare stories. I actually, when I mentioned earlier about how there were books I donated, I took 5 books, maybe more, to this rare bookstore that was in town. And he gave me $10 store credit, which honestly, I was wanting more. But anyway, this is what I bought with that $10 store credit. And I'm just I don't need this. And then the next 2 books I want to talk about, these are ones that are a little different, where they are coveted editions, and they're ones that I'm proud to have, but they also make me feel buyer's remorse when I see them because, these books were all cheap. They were $10, $15. That Chuck Palahniuk one might have been $15 or something, but they were all fairly cheap. But these other books were more expensive, and so when I saw it, I was just like, oh man, it's cool to own it, but was it worth the money, right? We have my Suntut Press edition of Misery, which was expensive, but I did not feel buyer's remorse at all. That one is incredible. I highly recommend that edition. But the first edition I'm going to talk about is the Subterranean Press edition of the Ambergris trilogy. And I will have to insert a picture because I already sold this. So you saw this in my bookshelf tour video. And in it, I said how I love the book jacket, but then I was disappointed when I actually received the book and I opened it and I saw there were no illustrations. The inside was exactly like any other, it was exactly like this edition of Ambergris. And so, the book jacket was cool, but for the money, I wanted something more than just a cool book jacket. And I don't mean to hate on Subterranean Press because I'm sure it was binded in a higher quality way. But also when he took the book jacket off, it also just looked very boring. And yeah, I wanted more. If I had spent, I don't know, if it was $100 or less, I would have kept them. But they were more than that. Luckily, I did sell them and I sold them for more than I bought them for. So it worked out well for me. eBay does take a pretty good commission, but I ended up breaking even ultimately because I sold it for more, but after eBay's commission, I broke even. So it worked out well with that one. And I would like to own those, but only if they were available for cheaper. And then the next book, it's a coveted edition, like I said, but the minute I paid for it, which I bought it on eBay, I was just like, I wish I could undo that. But the buyer didn't take refunds and I couldn't cancel the order, so I got it. And I was waiting, a week to receive it. And during that week, I was like, once I receive it, I'm just going to resell it on eBay and try to get at least my money back. But now that I have it, I'm like, well, maybe I'll keep it because it is cool. I'm kind of have mixed emotions on that. But that is my Cemetery Dance edition of The Shining. So this is like an amazing edition, right? It's so well done. The illustrations, fantastic. I mean, just look at that. And this one is limited to 3,000 copies. So all in all, like this book itself, it is an incredible edition. It was just expensive. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still going back and forth. Ultimately, I think at this point, I'm going to keep it because it also is a fantastic book itself, right? The story is amazing. And I own this in the paperback and the first, like an early edition hardcover. So I love that I just have that trio of editions of this book that is so famous and just so amazing. So yeah, ultimately I'm going to keep it, but I just realized my mic audio is not working. So the audio in this video won't be quite as good. I apologize for that. But anyway, to continue on, I am ultimately, now that all is said and done, now that I've received this book, it is incredible, and I am proud to own it, even though I have a tiny bit of buyer's remorse that is still lingering. I'll plan on keeping it. And honestly, the cool thing with book buying is that a lot of these books, they're just going to become more valuable in time, right? So this one, years from now, I could sell it and I could make more than what I bought it for. So that's kind of cool. But I thought I would share some of the illustrations in this one. Also, for starters, one of the reasons I don't like it is like that highlight they put, and I get it's like, ooh, shining, but it looks like someone went through with a highlighter. And right there too, maybe I'm being too picky about it. I don't know. I just don't like that look. But anyway, here's one illustration. Oh my gosh. I need to take the jacket off so I don't mess it up. Showing this book off would be better if I just held the camera and showed it to you, but I've come too far and I can't turn back at this point. Another one, The Overlook on a Sunny Day. And I'll find just one more. Here's what it looks like without the dust jacket, by the way. So that is my unhaul video, which I only unhauled a few books, and then, Ambergris I already unhauled. But thank you for watching. And which do you prefer watching? Unhaul videos or book haul videos? When people buy them or when they get rid of them? Because there is something so satisfying about seeing people get rid of the clutter in their life. But at the same time, it's exciting seeing people get new books too. So yeah, let me know down below what you enjoy watching. And I will see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow me on Instagram, where I also post pictures of my books. And I will see you next time. Bye.